My name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Fulltopia here in City Skylines. Last episode, guys, we built our very own nature reserve on top of all the mountains. It's still a big work in progress. As time goes on, we'll continually upgrade it. But you guys seem to love that. I asked for some suggestions what we do with the big kind of ditch that's in the middle. A lot of people said to fill it with water and then do a path that walks around the edge, and that would be really, really cool. And we might do that at some point. But today I want to focus on trying to increase the productivity of the city in Fulltopia. Now, we have a couple of industries in. We have the forestry, we have the farming land one in. And we have a few little industry buildings here and there. But I think it's time we continue the progression on building some factories in Fulltopia. Try and produce some more of those high value goods so we can earn as much cash money moolah as possible. So we are back then, boys. We have the farmland over here, which is basically there's not enough buyers for the product. So I've got to try and sort this out. Whether it be, basically I need to create like an export route nearby. It might come down to having to use trains, but to get it into the center part is a little bit difficult. So what I might do is I might create like an export area on this kind of island. It is all islands. I keep saying, is it an island? It actually is. We kind of figured it out a few episodes ago. But I'm thinking I need to do the shipping dock. Maybe, that's kind of a tough one, isn't it? Like, could I do it on this area over here, or is that too close to all this? Can I integrate this in some way, shape, or form? I don't know. Or maybe I stick it on the edge along here. That could also be cool too. I just need something where we can export the goods. So we'll figure it out in just a second. We have, in terms of all of our factories, we've only used one, which is the furniture factory. Which the furniture factory happens to be, is this it here? Right here. Which, there you go. It makes profit, which is pretty sweet. The next one along in the list that we get to work with is the bakery, which takes the animal goods, the crops, and the flour, the bakery there, which will have this fairly close to the farmland anyway. And this is going to be taking goods from, Coldridge farmland, which hopefully it should reduce some of the complaints that there's not enough buys for products. And stuff like that. So before we do that then, why don't we see what differences we will get once we add in a small little export area. Now, a small part of me wants to integrate it or have it over here on the opposite side. But then I think to myself, how would I connect it? I don't really want to mess up this whole connection. I don't really want to have, do I have an export area right on the edge? That feels a little bit kind of weird. Just because it's in like the open sea, and I don't really want to put it too close to the university either. This is quite a tough one. We could continue this road going along, and it could bridge over, and that could be the road that we use. Oh, it's so difficult, isn't it? It is so difficult. Right. Do you know what? Let me see the export. Oh, we actually no. I just thought it was something different. The other version is having the plain export route. Now, if I was to go down that route, it's the cargo hub here. It's fairly big. It is fairly big, but then where would you put that? I could have it over here on the edge, just alongside there. Oh, you know what? That would be the perfect spot for it. Right. So, little did I know, I was purchasing more land today. Well, let's buy all this and up here, just so I can, get the camera angles all correctly. Oh man, there's so much land on this side we get to work with as well. Right, let's get back in there. So yeah, we got to figure out how it's going to go down. So I think the first thing we need to do is just kind of smoothing it off a little bit. Because there is a few little jagged edges here and there which aren't perfect. Let's put it into play mode then. And then we need to pick a spot as well that we're going to be working with. And then we need to kind of slightly flatten it. So I want it on this side where the runway goes off against the water. Now, for me to do that, I need the road. So this is another thing as well. I have to make sure that it's got a really good road connection. So we've got a connection there. I think we'll eventually have a form of connection here. Unless Unless I integrated that as a connection where we have 2 on and off ramps either side. See, the decisions I've got to make, like what I do right now, impacts a lot of things. That's what we're gonna kind of have to play around with. So if this kind of went to, actually no, let's bend this. So we bend this up. Oh, that's the thing as well. I need to get it flush. So if I actually just kind of do it like this, an industrial road like that, is that okay for the runway? No, a little bit more over. A little bit more over. So let's go to here. See, that works perfect. And if I place it, we'll go there. Boom. Now, the good thing about this is, oh, that's kind of, wow, the levels of this are completely off. But so the good thing about this is it has the train cargo route, so we can create an export route further down the road. But I do have to kind of play around with this now, don't I? Do you know what? We're not actually going to put it there. I'm changing my mind. Right, get rid of you. I'm going to delete it a second. I'm going to place it here because I need more space over there to play around with stuff. So where we would have normally come off there, let's kind of take this as a straight road there. And the slope is too steep. Oh, okay, yep, the slope is definitely too steep here. So let's try and flatten this as much as I can. Delete some of that so we can get it up to the same level. You know, we'll delete all the road there because we can smoothen it out just nicely. So bring that up a bit. Push it back a bit so we can create that little shoreline. And then hopefully this is the one. You would hope it's the one. Okay, so let's bring this across. We'll do it to there. And again, too steep. That's okay, that's okay. We come back a little bit more. Right, if I just go the whole hog over, I can then really position it. So go to about there, you reckon? Or there. Now see, if I went there, it's a little bit on a steep slope there, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And then this connection here, off that, will only go to here and here only. Then if you want to get to whatever we place here, comes off whatever we do over there. Because I'm trying to keep the traffic in an, flowing in a certain way. If that makes sense. So we'll get now the smoothing. I like how it does this actually. I like how it comes off on a ramp there as you're taking off on a hill, which is quite cool. I do like the idea of that. And then we'll just kind of merge this out slightly. Let's go slightly bigger. And I think you can with the move it tool also kind of bring it up a bit. So it matches the road level. And then we just take the point of that road level there, bring that slightly down. And then we'll mess about with this then. So smooth it only goes so far before you would want to push the land out a bit more. So if I do that there. There we go. I say sweet, but then I kind of don't like it at that point. So we'll kind of flatten all of this. So bring the brush size up. We'll pick that point. And we'll treat the highway as the barrier. If that makes sense. And then I can have that in straight there. And there should be no elevation. No. I'm going to push this a little bit more. And this is going to be good. Right. Actually, I'm quite excited about this now. So let's bring this down. Move it in a bit more. I like that. So then we'll just get this smoothing tool on the edges. Just there. Up the size. Bring it all in. That's good either side. So there's clear enough runway to take off there. And then it goes over the highway crossing there, which is going to be really cool. So then, basically, if I bring this back down now to a... Let me find. I'm thinking of like a 2-lane road. We'll go for the 2-lane industrial road. That goes across there. That's how you would enter it and exit at the same time. So then we want a road going back down the opposite way, which you would exit on. And then we want to create like a little kind of light bulb in a sense. So let's kind of try and figure this out. So we've got by 5, across by 5, up by 5, up by 5, across. Well, that don't work out, does it? Let me try that again. So let me bring it up to there. To there. So I'll go up by... We'll go up by 10. And then we'll go up by 10 here. This one can come down by another 10. And cut in another 10. I've got to be careful how that also goes out. And that's by 5 going that way. And then what we do at that point then is go up by 5. In by 5. So it creates that bend, and then we just kind of get rid of that there. So that goes up by what would be 5. There we go. And then do the same here. Now I could go for a big wide turn. Like that and back in, which, yeah, that would work. And then the train track over here. We'll go up by 5 and just kind of bend like that to go in that direction wherever it would lead to. That will funnel the traffic in and out, and that's the end of this. That's where we close off the access for this side, because really that access point here is just for the industrial areas that we have up and running. So let's get this connected over here. So we do have it in a way where... Where's the road? The industrial road. Wrong one. I just had it. There we go. Literally comes off here. So that would be the middle connection in a way. So let me go back a bit. And... I'm trying to think